Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. I'm Joe Stunner, and if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Excuse me. Yeah, share the video, hit the like button, any support you can give for the channel. It's always appreciated. I think we've nearly got 40 subscribers. Count them, 40 subscribers, and they said it wouldn't be a success. All you big YouTubers, I'm coming for you. Load of bollocks. Anyway, what are we talking about today? Well, I thought I'd do an occasional series, maybe 1 a week, 2 a week, where I talk about fights that I remember very vividly as being great fights, but which seem to have, maybe because of their status, have got lost in time. Fights that only the most obsessive or hardcore fans would remember. And especially younger fans, they won't have heard of these fights, or I'll be surprised if they've heard of these fights, but they are great fights, which you should watch if you are a boxing fan. So the first one I'm going to pick for this particular video is, I think it was a British welterweight title eliminator between Rocky Kelly of London and Liverpool's Tony Brown. And it took place, I don't remember the venue, but it was 1986. And it was still, to this day, it's one of the best fights I've ever seen. 1986, that would have made me 19. I was 19 at the time. So let's give a bit of background information here. Let's start with Rocky Kelly from London. His real name was Hamilton Kelly, which suggests he has Scottish roots. And I think he was born in Liverpool as well, but he grew up in London. Certainly he spoke with the London accent, and so in a sense it was kind of like a bit of a derby, because Tony Brown was from Liverpool, but very much the home fighter, Rocky Kelly. Loads and loads of Londoners turned up to support him. Rocky Kelly had an action-packed career. If you know anything about him, you'll know that he was never in a bad fight. He fought for the British title twice. First against Costas Petru, another all-action fighter. I think it was Costas Petru was called the Greek Tank. He was like an Anglo-Cypriot, I think. I love that. I love that name, the Greek Tank. And Kelly lost to Petru. I think it was 5 rounds. That was the vacant welterweight title which Lloyd Honeyghan gave up. Honeyghan, we know, went on to very great things, beating Curry in America and all that. So Petru picked up the belt. Kelly lost in 5 rounds and had to work himself back into contention, to British title contention, hence the reason he fought Tony Brown. The second British title fight that Kelly had, it was against Kirkland Lang, and he was outclassed. Kelly was an all-action fighter. I'm not saying he couldn't box. I'm saying he didn't look like he was interested in boxing. He wanted to slug. He wanted to have a row with you. And any of Kelly's fights that you want to watch, you'll get your money's worth, your proverbial money's worth. He also was involved in a very tragic fight with a Scottish guy called Steve Watt, who he knocked out in the last round. It was a 10-rounder. He knocked him out in the 10th, and Steve Watt passed away. And it turned out that Steve Watt had either already had brain damage, or I think I remember reading that when they did the autopsy on him, he had a very thin skull, like an abnormally thin skull. The bones in his skull were thin, and no one had realised. He got knocked out and very tragically died. And that was quite early on in Kelly's career, so he did well to come back. So that's Rocky Kelly, all-action fighter, slugger. Flip side, everyone needs a good dance partner. Tony Brown, Scouser, tough as nails. Didn't have the most glittering of records. I think he might have finished his career with more losses than wins, but which is a shame because it doesn't do him justice. This was a tough lad. And his style was very much in the sort of British, traditional old school British stand-up style. He was southpaw, lots and lots of straight punches, kind of bolt upright. Nowadays we would consider that style somewhat dated. It's a style that you can see quite a bit of in Robert McCracken's techniques that he teaches. It's a discussion, a debate for a different time, but I would say it is quite a dated style now. But Tony Brown had it, and he kind of looked a little bit like a very poor man's Carl Froch. He fought like that. Used his feet a lot, but at the same time wasn't afraid to have a row with someone. And interestingly, he had also fought Costas Petru, who had knocked out Kelly. And I think he lost on points. Tony Brown lost on points to Petru and then beat him over 8 just before he fought Kelly. So they were thinking, well, Petru knocked out Kelly. Brown's just outpointed Petru. Is this going to be one of those triangular things? Of course, it rarely is, but that's the way they sell a fight, you know. So they got together. It was in London. I can't remember the venue, but it was absolute war from start to finish, from the opening round to the final round. What I'm going to do is see what you think about it. I'm not going to tell you who won, of course, because that would defeat the purpose. You may know who won and you want to watch it again. You can never watch a fight like this too many times, but have a look at it. I'll leave the link in the description. So yeah, Rocky Kelly versus Tony Brown, British welterweight title eliminator in 1986. Don't ask me the month. I'll have to look that up on BoxRec or whatever. But a great fight. I'm going to be doing more of these sort of videos. Lesser known fights, great fights that perhaps you don't know and you might want to watch. In the meantime, subscribe, hit the like button, share the video, and have a good day. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.